So let's make a start with one of the more iconic ones. It's got everything that you get from a Simpsons episode in the 90s. You had Phil Hartman guest starring, you had a big song number, and you had Homer out of his depth. And this is Marge Vs the Monorail.
What a fantastic episode.
I mean, for me it was like if you distilled the Simpsons, this is what it was, you know. Homer with the possum in the monorail, the fact that he was flying in, you know, you see this big map of America with all these cities, and Marge could just drive there. Again, selling the joke that you don't know where Springfield is. So for those of you who don't know, that's the episode where Mr. Burns is fined for dumping nuclear waste in the local park. And a gentleman by the name of Lyle Langley, played by the great Phil Hartman, rest in peace, sir, tells the city, he tries to sell the city a monorail. Marge wants to fix the Main Street Road and then figures there's something dodgy going on. And when she visits previous cities, the cities are in ruin, financial or physical, because the monorails that Langley sold them were absolute garbage. And then has a race against time to save the city and Homer. And Leonard Nimoy, too.
Yeah, he appears.
And it's just, for me, it was just, it had a really, really good musical number, the Monorail song. And fantastic song. And just Homer's obliviousness was...
Oh, I love the bit. Sorry to jump in if that's all right. I just love the bit. I believe they're talking in bed. And then she says something about it being dangerous. He's like, yeah, but what if I'm having a shower and I slip on a bar of soap? Oh my God, I'd die. It's like, yeah.
I called the big one Bitey. that right there is just, it was brilliant. And then they had a legal murder done at the end of the episode, and nobody batted an eyelid over that one. Because the plane, Lyle Langley escapes on a plane and he's going to Tahiti. And they end up doing a short stopover at North Haverbrook, which is one of the towns where he scammed. And as he lands, there's like a mob with pitchforks and torches going, he's in 3B. And you see the plane shaking, and then it cuts away and you never hear from him or that town ever again.
Well, even when he's sat on the plane, he's like, North Haverbrook. North Haverbrook. North Haverbrook.
Yeah. Like, I would have hid where the captain was. It's just... But that right there, like I said, that is distilled one of Simpsons formula in a nutshell. You know, crack a few gags, have a big musical number, have intense sarcasm, Homer not knowing what he's doing, Marge being a busybody, and the city just being absolutely stupid.
And that song, I know you've mentioned it a couple of times. How catchy is that?
Oh yeah,
Monorail. What's that name? Monorail. Say it again.
Monorail. It's perfect. It is in, you know, this episode, for people who don't know, has been voted regularly in every single poll that the best Simpsons episodes of all time. This episode is at least in the top 3 of every single poll that I've ever seen. Like, most of the time it's number 1, but it's the lowest is 3. It's never out of the top 3. And I think it's because it's just so goofy, but funny at the same time.
It's brilliant. It's really nostalgic for me. Yeah. It's one of the, when I think of Simpsons, it's one of the go-to that jumps straight to my mind, because I had this series on VHS. Yep. That's how long ago that was. And I just loved it. I used to watch it nearly every night as a kid growing up. And obviously one of the standouts was that episode. And
not just that, you had, again, I know I mentioned Phil Hartman here, but Phil Hartman was the best guest star The Simpsons ever had. Just the Troy McClure character, the Lionel Hutz character, and every time he did it like a cameo appearance like this one, a one-off, he made those characters work fantastically. So, you know, he just did really, really well. I think this episode was written by Conan O'Brien, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, for British listeners, he made a couple of cameo appearances, but for US listeners, you know who Conan O'Brien is. Conan O'Brien is one of the guys who has one of the late night TV talk shows over here, which is like gold, and he was involved in the whole scandal with losing the Tonight Show and winning the Tonight Show. I don't know. He's a funny guy, though, and he's a great writer as well.
I didn't know he written the episode, actually.
Yeah, he actually, during that time, between like 94 and 96, he either wrote or touched up a good 10 or 12 episodes.
Nice.
And I think
I never realized he was so involved.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason what made that era so funny as well, is because you had actual comedians and comedy writers writing the show, and stand-up comics are always in touch with their audience more than anyone else. So if you know what your audience likes, you can definitely get a TV show written a lot better than somebody who is sitting in an office for 20 hours a day.